Shalom, Shalom Yeshua. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching 100% truth. Wa Brakatham to the 144,000, as well as the rest of your elect. May peace and blessings be unto your households. It's your brother Gadal from the Great Millstone Dallas branch. And Slaki. And in this intrinsic lesson, just going to get into, man, the concept is simple. It's just the process is the hard part, right? Going through it, I guess you would say, is the hard part. Just something I was kind of meditating on for a little bit. That, it's like what the Lord asks of us is pretty simple, man. Right? Love each other. Love each other as if you love your brother as you love yourself. Feed his sheep and be patient until he comes back. It's pretty simple, man. There's probably a couple other things I could have named, but you get the point. It's pretty simple. Keep my law and statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. I make sure to throw that one in there. But yeah, it's simple. It's just the actual doing it is hard because of what? And there's a point that Asma said during camp Tuesday. He said it's the concept. The concept is simple, but we're trying to do spiritual things in fleshly bodies. Right? Go read Romans the 7th chapter, verse 14 on down. That's what we get to deal with, man. The way Paul felt in that chapter. Romans 17:14 on down. It's exactly how we feel on a day-to-day basis. You do the things that you don't want to do, and the things you do want to do, you don't even end up doing it. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not something that's going to happen every single time. Like, every single time you want to do something, you don't end up doing it. But it's going to be times when it does happen because we're subject to vanity, as it says in Romans 8:20. For the creature is made subject to vanity. And that word vanity, one of the similar words is perverse. And what it means to be perverse, man, doing things without the care or thought of the consequences. So we're subject ultimately to be perverse unto Yahweh Bashion Shah due to these bodies. The flesh doesn't like to do what's right. The flesh wants to do what the flesh wants to do. If it sees a girl with a fat ass, and I'm talking to you, man, if you see a girl with a fat ass, you're going to want to pop it, even if she had a man. That's something the flesh wants. But the spirit is like, no. That's a no-go. So therefore, it's a fight for us to stay in the way, right? Stay on this path because of the flesh, right? Matter of fact, I ain't going to do it. But yeah, I know somewhere in Romans 7th chapter, I think it's like closer towards the end, of that chapter, how it goes into, how the Apostle Paul goes into how I see another law in my members, right? That's warring against the law warring against the law of my mind, roughly paraphrasing. In other words, man, the flesh, all it wants to do is to go off. And your spirit all it wants to do is right? The scripture says, man, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's why it's so hard to do, like for what the Lord has asked of us, even though it's so simple. Because we are fleshly men. Well, no, we are in the flesh trying to do spiritual things. Well, no, my bad. It's like I'm trying to get it right. Brother hit it on the nail. We're spiritual. We're spiritual men trying to do this in fleshly bodies. Hang out. You know what I mean. You get the point. Right? Trying to do spiritual things in fleshly bodies. There you go. Trying to do spiritual things in fleshly bodies. Call out Yahweh Shah. It's a lot. So with that being said, guess what? It's a fight. It's a fight to do what's right. Because we are all subject to Satan. And Satan, he knows you. He knows you. He knows exactly what button to push, when to push that button, as well as when to not push the button. You're like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna let it simmer, or whatever. However you're thinking about it. try to get you, man. Luke 22:31, man. You got to keep in mind, man, Satan desires to have us, man. You know? Satan desires to have us, like, for real. Like, he wants you, man. He wants you. Right? And it's just like, dang, man, you know, it's just shit. You know, it can suck at times, man, because, you know, Satan can only do as much as the Lord allows him to. So when Satan's really fucking with you in your life, guess what? You got to understand that it's the Lord's will. He allowed that to happen. Whether it's so you can call upon him, or he's trying to purge some dross and get some dross out of you, man. You know, like I said, man, all these things are, you know, it's easier said than done, man. It's easy to tell somebody, man, just study, or just make your lessons. You know, it's easy to say these things. Just serve the Lord. It's easy to say these things, but if the Lord ain't got the Spirit on you to do it, and you know, you're not gonna do it. Right? Hell, like it's even a fight to do them thing, anyways. Even if you want to do it, say for you do want to raid, you know, you might just not end up reading. Like I said, this ain't something that happens every single time, but it's gonna be times you're like, man, you know, I want to read today. You don't even end up doing it because of what? The flesh. The flesh is the only thing that's holding us back between us and the Lord. The flesh, which is the whole reason why we go off. The flesh. You know, that's why it says in Galatians 6th chapter, you know, walk in the Spirit and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, man. You know, man, how do you walk in the Spirit, man? You know, hey, doing things that are good for the Spirit. Watching lessons, making lessons, reading, studying. You know, oh man, biggest one, being around the like-minded man. Because, you know, when you're around like-minded man, guess what? You're around that good energy too. And if you're getting filled up with that energy, then woof, you in there. Right? Because like I said, man, all these things, it's easy to tell somebody to do certain things, but it's hard. It's much harder. It's easy to tell someone to be patient and wait on the Lord, but it's a lot harder to go through than you think. You know, the Apostle Gabar, he already said it, man. You know, the men of the Lord have the hardest lives. Right? The men of the Lord have the hardest lives, man. He said that like a minute ago, though. You know. So yeah, man. You know, that's why, you know that, man, just understanding, man, the concept of what the Lord wants from you is simple, man. You know, fear the Lord. As it said, what the scripture says, the whole duty is, man, fear the Lord and keep his commandments. Fear the Lord, keep his commandments, and, you know, you do that thing, you be good. And you do that all to the best of your ability, man. Judges 5:11 wasn't written for nothing. In the place of their drawing waters, right there, they will rehearse the righteous acts. Place of their drawing waters, going to the place of their captivity, talking about the Israelites. And there, they're going to rehearse, which is to put into practice. Putting into practice, fearing Yahweh Shem Shai and keeping his commandments to the best of your ability. Whatever the Lord wants, that's what you're going to do. As well as whatever the Lord puts upon your plate, man, you eating it, man. You know, and sometimes it can be pretty tough, you know, to like eat it. Whatever the Lord got on your plate, man, you eat it. It can be tough sometimes, but you know, only thing we can do is look towards who? Yahweh Shai. Right? I'm always quote this, man. Hebrews 12:2, man. Hebrews 12:2. That's what Yahweh Shai did in order to endure the trial that he had to go to, man. His hour of temptation. Focused on the joy that you're going to receive from all of this. It's easy as hell to get caught up in what you don't got, you know, where you at in life. That's what Satan wants you to do. He wants you to play on them things, man. You know, but the only thing you can do is rebuke it and focus on, like, nah, fuck all that, man. I'm suffering in the names of Yahweh Shem Shai. And we know it's not vain. 1 Corinthians 15:58. We know it's not vain. Romans 8:18. I reckon that the suffering of this present time is not worthy to be compared, man. We know these things, man. And I just got to continue to press on forward through the power of Spirit Yahweh Shem Shai. Continue to pray that he gives you the strength, the endurance to endure whatever he's putting upon you. I know I've been saying this a lot, but like I said, man, all this is easier said than done, man. When you're in the midst of catching hell and you midst of going through that, man, it's a lot harder to think about the good when you going through hell for real. But you have to think about the good, because you're gonna get, if you don't, you're gonna get so caught up in the bad, man. It's just gonna devour you, man. Like, I don't know what better way to say that. It's just gonna devour you, man. Before you know it, you fell out the truth. Continue to pray, as well as, man, make sure you're praying for the brothers, man, especially the apostles, right? Apostles, man, because they going through it too. We all going through it. We all need prayer. You want somebody to pray for you, make sure you're praying for others. But anyways, Lord willing, y'all was edified. That's all I had through the Spirit. I want to end it off by saying, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time I say, Shalom, Yeshua.